Il y a 3 députés qui sont morts à Los Angeles. Il y a eu une explosion. 3 morts. Majeure explosion. 3 députés dead. 3 cops. Dans le fond, c'est 3 cops. 3 policiers.
Right, that's to my point
C'est
about
grave.
possibly loading
C'est
the
arrivé
room.
tantôt.
I mean, this been a routine, and I hate using that word. This could have been operations of preparing for the day, and something catastrophic happened. But I do notice as we see this scene, it is a large area that they are trying to secure now. If you look at that crime scene tape and how far away from the initial point of the explosion, they have really moved everyone back. It makes you think that they don't, clearly, they still don't know what exploded. They don't know what led to this. That is so early in the investigation. And so we don't know if it was items being moved that might still be there. That is what the LAPD bomb squad is going to be taking a look at.
Right, and Scott mentioned the direction of the blast. It appears the vehicles closest where the victims are don't appear to have a lot of damage. It's the patrol vehicles across the parking lot that suffer the damage. So maybe this was some type of directional explosive, something that they do use to detonate fireworks or something like that.
And we talk about the time of day. We'll bring Scott back in on this because he was the one that he knows about this a little more. But can you imagine if this was noon or 10 a.m. or a shift change where you had multiple people in that lot? I mean, Scott, that.
Ça répète plus, ça peut avoir plus d'heures. Ça fait 3 morts, ça répète plus. Ça fait, c'était à Los Angeles, à Monterey Park. LASD Training Facility. C'est un training facility du LASD. Monterey Park.
It certainly could have been worse, but boy, to lose 3 deputies like this is just heart-wrenching. I mean, it's going to send a chill through the department. There's no question about that. You know, they're one big family. If you know anything about the sheriff's deputies, and they're all going to feel it. As you mentioned, there's just no way to know. I mean, it's pure speculation on our part. You know what they were doing down here. We can only go by the bits and pieces of what we have seen and sort of try and tell you what our opinion is. But certainly we're going to have to wait for some time before we get actual specifics. And you guys both know, John and Philip, you know, a lot of times what you see and what you think makes rational sense, it's just the opposite when the details come out and when the facts come out. So we basically really don't know what happened here. We can only describe the scene. You can see they've shut down some of the streets. That's Sheriff's Way. Sheriff's Way angles around this whole compound, this SEB, the Special Enforcement Bureau of the Sheriff's Department. SEB basically is a SWAT, the Special Enforcement or SWAT. Most people know what SWAT is, and that's their compound right there. And then the area where the explosion occurred was a portion of the compound that houses the bomb squad. The closures of the streets here aren't really going to affect any traffic in the area. It's not going to affect the community. There's no, sense that they're concerned about any hazardous materials or anything like that. But they got a long way to go. They got a long investigation.
Yeah, and as Scott mentioned, this happened perhaps around 7:30, we think. Air 7 happened to be in the area when it happened, so they were there very early on. And it's safe to say the Sheriff's Department is still coming to grips with this tragedy. We're hoping to hear some kind of statement from Sheriff Luna at some point. No word right now on a press conference. And that's put us in this position where we just have to look at the scene and look at the outcome of what happened and try and piece it together until we get some official confirmation on exactly what happened.
Well, Bruce Thomas is still with us as we await our reporter on the scene, which is Monica DeAnda. We have her camera up. You can see that live shot there on the right. But Bruce, I wanted to ask a question. You know, we talked about...
Real quick, Philip, there's the LAPD bomb squad coming in, so that's...
Yeah, that's the live picture on the right there that we were talking about from Monica's camera. So she's gathering information. You see that live image of the bomb squad rolling in there. But Bruce Thomas, I wanted to ask you, because of the dangerous nature of the business that we're talking about, these explosives that were so volatile just now, whatever happened to cause it happened. So the question I would have is there a reason they might be doing volatile activities at this time of day so that is that part of the process? Maybe we're going to do this at 7 a.m., 7:15 a.m. before people are getting onto that site, because as I mentioned a moment ago, this could have been horribly worse if there had been more people there. And this is bad enough, but is there a method to doing it at this time of day?
Le premier roux. Redécouvrez un tout nouveau Liam Neeson.
You know, as Scott was talking about, and we talked about the hour of the day, that's minimal amount of personnel that are there. So I can't believe they were trying to move something as dangerous as explosive off that facility in a truck like that without a containment type vessel, because those trailers are not explosive vessel containment trailers. Those are for the robot. Those are for the personnel to basically command and control whatever incident explosive device. So it seems, and once again, we don't want to speculate, that this is very tragic, as it was some sort of in-house device that tragically went wrong in this case.
Right. And Bruce, we're looking at the scene now, and I'm looking at all those firefighters gathering behind that large fire vehicle, and I'm guessing that's a safety issue for them, just in case we do have more explosive material to deal with. Monica DeAnda is live on the scene right now, and Monica, I don't know if you're able to get much more information, but what does it look like out there? How are our sheriff's deputies responding?
Yeah, John and Philip, not much information right now from the Sheriff's Department, but I'll let you know we're positioned off of Loda and Eastern. This is the closest we're able to get. As we look, and you can see here comes one of the law enforcement vehicles coming in pretty hot. There's a lot of activity. We just saw the LAPD bomb squad that we know has been called in to assist. And really, if we look further in, closer to the facility, that's where one of our crews was positioned, but they're working on pushing back all the media to where we're at right now on Eastern and Loda Drive. And as Scott has been saying, we've been overhead of this scene about an hour now, and this deadly explosion, Scott Rife saw at least 3 people have been killed. We're working to find out more information.
Trying to get us.
Explosion. Scott Rife is